he became a close friend. He would come home. He and Zahir Abbas and others would come home when we invited them. And the one thing they loved is the biryani that we would serve them from Royal. And they would say that it is almost as good as what you would get in Pakistan. That was quite a compliment from them.
A big hello to all my viewers who are tuning in. Firstly, big thank you for 2,000 subscribers. So we are 2,000 strong. And to celebrate my YouTube family and this journey, it's been tough. It's been slow, but it's been steady. So big thank you to everyone that has supported me in this platform. And who better to celebrate this little milestone is with someone who carries a big weight on the shoulders of the surname and the lineage of the Bhimani family. Why I say that? Because more often than not, she and her whole dynasty in the families on this side of the spectrum than that side. Mrs. Bhimani, first of all, thank you so much for your precious time. Apologies for all the technical errors that has gone on behind the scenes before we actually kickstarted this podcast. I'm really excited, but very nervous as well. I'm sure you know the reason why. But first and foremost, how have you been mentally? And I hope you're in a good space and doing well now.
I'm in a great space, if you ask me, because I think you always have to be very positive about what you're doing. And I am doing what I'm most passionate about, which is writing. Writing articles about people, writing books. And two of my books, fortunately, have been released this year, back to back, which has been a lot of fun. So I want to go on doing that rather than sticking to the problems of my clients and trying to work out how I should strategize for them. Now I think I need to strategize for myself because I've been talking to people about personal branding.
Ma'am, as I mentioned that you come from a lineage that is so, the Bhimani surname carries a lot of weightage in the field of journalism, especially in the field of sports journalism. Late Kishore Bhimani, as we remember him, we also want to say that we all miss him a lot. The legacy that he's left behind, and someone who's been not just a pillar and a pioneer in the sports journalistic field or sports media field in this country, someone who's also seen the industry or the whole diaspora of journalism in sport in India evolve over the years. And how does it make you feel when people from our generation as well come up to you on Derby Day or on Christmas Day and say that the kind of impact that late Mr. Kishore Bhimani has had on their lives and of course in sport media?
What I'm always amazed by is the kind of recall that a lot of people have of what he wrote. Because he wrote with a lot of passion. He wrote very lyrically. And he gave a very different twist to the kind of writing that you bring into sports journalism, which is why people were able to quote him back to me. And that's what I love, that people still remember. They remember the fact that they learned their English from him. Apart from
the vocabulary he used.
The vocabulary, apart from his views on cricket or on tennis or on billiards and snooker, which he was very passionate about. He felt that too much emphasis had been given to cricket and too much money. Yes, too much money had been poured into cricket. And what he wanted to support was things like billiards and snooker. He was very good at it. When we were actually courting, I would go to Great Eastern and watch him play billiards and snooker, particularly billiards. He was very good at it. And later on, we actually got various companies to come and sponsor various events around these particular sports. because he felt uh, that we have 8 top world champions in this game, and why aren't we doing enough about it? Why is everybody running after cricket?
It's very intriguing because Mr. Kishore Bhimani was someone who's at least I as a kid growing up, I could just resonate him with cricket because you would see him giving his views and of course coming on television. More often than not, it was channelized and it was revolving around cricket. Although he was in the latter stages of his career because he never really retired. You know, you can't really retire from passion.
No.
As ma'am herself is still writing. But it's really interesting, even for someone like him, who's been so closely not just related, but quite synonymous to cricket, is Mr. Kishore Bhimani, and for him to also really raise a concern that there's too much of attention to the game is quite interesting. That just showed that okay, he was a lover of the game. He was passionate about his job, about his profession, but he was not ignorant. So that shows that we need more journalists and people in the media who present or represent the mass. Obviously, we don't play. We can't be in the shoes of the athletes, but it's people you see on television, people who write articles we see in the morning. I'm sure the players also read about whatever stuff's written about them. Very, very conscious players nowadays are. Ma'am, you've obviously with Mr. Kishore Bhimani traveled the world, traveled with cricket teams, seen big individuals. Like what I mean by big is in stature in their respective fields. Imran Khan, the former Pakistani Prime Minister, and the former Pakistani cricket captain, World Cup winning captain. We have some very interesting incident that you would want to share with our audience.
Imran Khan was in a class of himself, a class by himself, let us say, because he was quite an intellectual. He was so well read, so well versed in history. He used to share a lot of this with my husband. And one of the wonderful things is that he became a close friend. He would come home, he and Zahir Abbas and others would come home when we invited them. And the one thing they loved is the biryani that we would serve them from Royal. And they would say that it is almost as good as what you would get in Pakistan. That was quite a compliment from them. Maybe it was because of the whole ambience and everything else.
The warmth and the love.
The love that went with it. Maybe that added to the flavor of the biryani.
It sure did.
I would say.
I'm sure it's like Imran Khan and Zahir Abbas. My goodness, these are some huge names. They've given India quite a bit of a headache for sure for many years. For them to say that they love the biryani of Calcutta or Kolkata is like saying for a Bengali to go to Sri Lanka and say I love the sweets over there. And, ma'am, did you ever feel that Imran Khan was kind of a anti-India kind of, because it's really important for the audience to know, because somehow we come to a conclusion very quickly about certain people. Of course, he was the prime minister of about our neighboring country, with whom our relations haven't been as smooth as I'm sure both countries would have liked to be. But did you ever feel that he was kind of differentiating himself with the lot when he came to India or at your house, or did you feel like he was quite as normal as a cricketer should be from any country for that matter?
I think the latter, what you brought up, yes, quite, and they were so warm with their hospitality when we would go to Pakistan. Zahir Abbas particularly, he would never let us stay in a hotel.
Wow. This is in Lahore?
Yes, last time when we went to Karachi, we had checked into this hotel, and he came and he just had our suitcases brought down, and he said, "Well, you're just coming home.
Wow.
You're just staying with us."
This is the great Zahir Abbas that we're talking about.
So this is the great Mehman Nawazi that we have in Pakistan, the way they would entertain us. Even the common man, we would go into a shoe store and we would be buying their special types of shoes that the Pathanis that my husband used to love. And when we would be coming away, this person would say, the shopkeeper, this is my gift to you. You don't have to pay. Lot of them would not take payment.
So did you mention or did they guess that you're from India by
Yes,
the
of course.
accent?
Yes,
Yeah.
oh, sure. All that.
Right.
Definitely. There were glitches, of course, because my husband was a vegetarian and I
Right.
loved their kebabs and I loved everything else. So he had, especially when he went on his own with other journalists. Uh, and there was one incident where he was very, very hungry. So they found a dosa place. They said, wow,
In Pakistan?
this is great. Yes.
My goodness.
So they went for the dosa. And of course, it was stuffed with keema.
Oh.
He said, I'm sorry, I'm vegetarian. Oh, Shikar nahi saab. He took it away. He scraped off
The kebab. Oh, the keema.
and brought it back. That was it.
I mean, this is something that very few of us have actually have experienced and can, obviously, for obvious reasons and for many political circumstances and complications. But your visits to Pakistan, of course, it was for official visits as well. Very positive things that you're sharing, ma'am, today about our neighboring country, because it's very important for us to share our own experiences. We have a lot of preconceived notions about many stereotypical things in society. But as you said, you've been to Karachi and Karachi and Lahore.
And
both.
Lahore, yes.
And what about Lahore or Karachi that you still hold very dear to you? From not just the cricketing standpoint, but as you said, these incidents where the hospitality.
Not only these incidents, but okay, we did move around in high society,
Right.
and we found their love for art, music, and so on, and of course the way they dressed. That was something else, not to imbibe from them.
Did the common Pakistani, did you ever feel hate? I know it's a very strong word to use, or any instance of not being welcomed in Pakistan by any individual, or it was a smooth.
Not when I was there, but earlier when there was this incident when Indira Gandhi passed away.
Right.
And they actually said they were very happy that she's gone.
Wow. That was not the kindest thing you would want to hear about a former prime minister. Moving at Mrs. Bhimani, you've, of course, as I've repeatedly said, that the kind of lineage that you carry, and I say that with all due respect to you as an individual. How do you think that we speak always and we speak about the commercialization of sport, cricket, of course, IPL just took off, and your son, Gautam Bhimani, was, of course, a part of the media team as well when
Yes.
the inaugural IPL started. Does it make you sad, or does it make you happy just from an individual standpoint that, okay, it's a bit too robotic now? I mean, the real relations between not just media and cricketers is diminished, but even as human beings, there is always a sense of uncertainty when a cricketer meets a journalist, because there's always a give or take. You write good things about me, and I can do something. It's just there in the air. It's something that unfortunately cannot be avoided in today's day and age.
In those days, I think they took criticism very seriously, and they would discuss it with us. So it's never that they harbored any hate towards
Right.
a journalist as such. Also, it was our attitude to them, because I felt that somehow, especially with my husband, he had seen a lot of stuff at close quarters, whether it was to know what was going on in the dressing room or what was going on behind closed doors. But he never screamed. He never talked about that. We went on a wonderful, wonderful 5-test tour during Bobby Simpson's time,
Right.
when it was a 5-test series,
Yeah.
when Mission Bailey was the captain.
Right.
It was a glorious, glorious series. The last one, we were 2-all,
Okay.
and the last one is what we lost.
Where was this test match, the last one?
Adelaide.
It's in Adelaide.
It was at Adelaide. And we saw that while Bobby Simpson's boys were drinking orange juice, our boys were loving the Barossa Valley wine.
Really? It's quite ironic, isn't it?
Yes, naturally. And the captain himself, of course, had also had a bit of a tipple. Later, we could have, when we analyzed it, and we lost that. We lost that match.
This was during the game, or in the middle of 5 days.
Yeah, just after that.
After that.
So that was unfortunate. There's a lot that could have been written about that particular.
Right.
game.
I mean, there were a lot of things that were exposed to the media or to you guys then, which could have I don't know, been written or talked about. But that's the thing, ma'am. As you said that there's a famous saying that you can't clap with one hand.
Yes.
And you mentioned that cricketers took criticism very, very in a sporting way. But I'm sure back in the day when Mr. Bhimani was in his absolute prime, the criticisms were just constructive. Don't you feel, ma'am, now, and please feel free not to answer this, don't you feel now that journalism is more like digging into, like, if a player scores, doesn't get runs in 5 games, the conversation suddenly revolves around his personal life and his...
It's very unfortunate,
Right.
but that's true because writers nowadays want to get more traction out of what
Right.
they write. They want more and more people to read some salacious stuff.
Hmm.
And that's something that I can't quite take, not from where we came from.
Right.
We wrote it very differently. Maybe you can say that it was a sanitized kind of form of journalism, but there you are. But we did, as you say, we did travel the world. And one of the things we did, which was very interesting, because although I say that he supported other sports other than cricket, but we had a very good friend in Dubai called Sham Bhatia, and he's got the only private cricketing museum of its kind in the world. Oh, he has the way he has collected, and my husband was actually instrumental in writing out the histories of all the countries that are represented there. It's quite something. So Shyam actually asked my husband, to do a wonderful coffee table book of the stories of the world's best one-day cricketers, which he would put in the book. 60 of the world's best one-day cricketers.
Correct.
So my husband said, but how do I get all these? He said, just go to these countries and talk to them and get the interviews. And
But you had to list out first the top 16.
we had to list it out. We had to do a lot of homework. We had to find out which was their best match, bowler-wise or batting-wise.
I'm sure there was a lot of difficult eliminations from the list as well. Which you
Eliminations also. So my husband said, okay, I'll go, but I will take my wife with me. And we would travel business class and we went. We obviously couldn't cover so many countries.
Right.
So what we identified was there were certain matches being played when there were...
Did you travel only the test playing nations?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually identified where many of the matches were being played with more than one nation being there. So that also
That of course.
that helped. So we went to England, we went to Australia, South Africa, of course. Was absolutely wonderful. In fact, in South Africa is where we met this illustrator called Richie Ryle, because this book would have been very bland if it just had a picture of a cricketer and his anecdote. So I discovered Richie Ryle quite by chance because I was in somebody's office and I saw this huge watercolor which was done of jaunty roads taking a catch. I said, who is this? Who is this illustrator? And they said, oh, that's Richie Ryle and he lives in Cape Town. I was in Cape Town. Would you like to meet him? I said, of course. So he came over with a lot of his sketches and I said, I think we should do this. You just have to, I'll put you in touch with this guy, Shyam Bhatia. If he agrees, then you just do all the watercolors. And he did. Shyam called him over to Dubai We had a lovely golfing weekend and commissioned him to do all that. But the hard work was done by us. And also, cricketers don't say very much. Yes, no, black, white kind of thing. So he had to flesh out each of the incidents.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, like, finding out the 60 best one-day international cricketers.
One day players.
So who in that? I mean, it's quite interesting because everyone today, in whosoever is tuning in the audience, might have little to no knowledge about how things were back in the day. And this, I'm sure, this was a very great adventure, if you may say so, going to different countries and picking and choosing. As you said, you had to do a lot of homework as well, because of course it couldn't be a blind list. Of course, you had to eliminate. There were tough decisions. What were the challenges during this whole adventure that you and Mr. Kishore Bhimani went?
The challenges were that there were one or two cricketers who absolutely refused to speak. So either we eliminated them or we had to do something else about it.
Were they rude, or was it just professional?
Yes, they were rude. So, so you have to deal with this kind of thing. But mind you, this particular coffee table book, it's still current because it's in its 5th edition now.
Right.
It's in a way it's priceless because it's been given out to people all over the place. It's not commercialized, but it's a beautiful book to have. I hope I can sometime get a copy of it for you. You will love it. I will do it. I'll get it from Dubai and present you a copy, and then you will see what went into it.
So much of effort as well. As you said, there were some cricketers who were not so kind. No. But I'm sure you made a lot of friends during the process as well. A lot of strangers, I'm sure, who were strangers.
Yeah.
So in this whole adventure and with Mr. Kishore Bhimani, who became a really good pal of yours, you might say, just in the conquest of this.
Somebody like a Sanghakara.
Really? Wow. So this was not during this was during the modern, I would say modern times, in the early 2000s, if I may say so. So Kumar Sanghakara.
And then the South Africans, they were so funny. So like that, it evolved.
Okay, since you have started talking of Sanghakara, someone who's one of my mother's favorite cricketers as well, one of my favorite cricketers as well, such an elegant left-hander, such an elegant cricketer, and I'm sure such an elegant human being as well. So tell us about Kumar Sanghakara, because in India, there's a bit of a stick about him, especially during the 2011 World Cup final toss. Thank God and thanks to humanity that we won the final. Otherwise, I'm sure Sanghakara would have been the forever villain. I don't know, maybe he wouldn't be allowed to enter India as well after, if Dhoni's stars didn't align that night in Mumbai. But about Sanghakara, ma'am, how was he?
Yeah, okay, the interviews were great. But I would point you to the fact of the restaurant that he started.
Right, in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
I think is he and Maya Jayawardene are partners?
Yes.
Yeah, in that restaurant.
So it's called the Ministry of Crab.
Okay.
And who discovered it? I did not. My son did.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
When he was trying to show different parts of the nation,
right.
So there he was impaling this massive crab. He ate it all by himself.
Wow.
And later, when I went back to Sri Lanka, I tried the same thing with a vegetarian husband next to me, and he said that he was very good about letting me go ahead and eat it. But it was, it became very, very popular. I wish some of our other cricketers who have had these various outlets, I wish theirs had been as successful as this particular Ministry of Crab.
Ministry of Crab, definitely. Since the conversation has flowed so much, I would, of course, with your profession, with late Kishore Bhimani's profession, you have interacted with so many cricketers of different stature, of different nationalities, of different backgrounds. And I'm sure with the experience that you both had, you could spot talent quite early as well. Was there anyone you saw very early, or you and Mr. Senior Bhimani himself, and had a conversation later that, this guy, he looks like the future or looks something, and he actually delivered? Was there any instance of that sort?
Well, we did follow the career of Sachin Tendulkar.
Wow.
Yes.
So both of you did point out that this child prodigy has it.
Absolutely.
Because what happens is that at times when there are child prodigies, and that's in every field, we see a pattern. We see a pattern of being going downwards, whatever reason it may be. Sometimes they say that the person or the individual themselves set the standard so high that probably they could never or succumb to the pressure or expectations. But you knew Sachin was different at that early age. What was early? Did you see him quite early, or did you meet him?
No, I think we followed his career right through. So it wasn't as if I was spotting early talent.
Right.
No, I would be wrong to say that.
And the other way around, did anyone disappoint you or Mr. Senior Bhimani saying that this guy was something and didn't do justice, or the numbers didn't do justice, if I may say so?
I'm trying to think, who.
Was it Kamli?
Some of the names you would mention actually would be ancient history to you. So maybe I won't go back to some of those.
Right.
But people like Sunil have been steadfast friends for a long time. Sunil and Dilip Sarkar and a lot of them. Yeah.
So knowing Sunil Gavaskar so closely, did you, because there was always a constant comparison between Sunny Gavaskar and Tendulkar because of their identical height, because of their identical nature of playing as well in the early stages of Sachin's career, obviously, with a very solid textbook, copybook cricket, and of course both being Mumbaikar. Did you see that? Did you see a young Gavaskar in Tendulkar, or did you think?
I think with Gavaskar we looked at more at his intellect and the way he could talk about cricket, the way he could become someone who is like a senior advisor later on in life. So we would take his counsel very seriously with Sunil when he was commentating, when he's writing. He's really something else, what he has proved himself to be. And when he would come home, of course. Again, coming back to the personal part, there used to be a time when he would ring us up and he said, I'm coming to Calcutta and I just want my kosha mangsho and my mishti doi.
Mishti doi.
Yeah. So there you are.
Sunny Gavaskar, someone who is adored by so many of us of different generations, even people who are like 10 years old who were literally born when Sunny Gavaskar completed 2 decades of his broadcasting career, let alone his cricketing career, are still fans of him. Did you see that in person? Because we, as an audience, we have seen Sunny Gavaskar as the cricketer, not me obviously, but as the broadcaster in the media, in television channel, and you've obviously seen him so closely. Did he actually carry that aura of Sunil Gavaskar, someone who would smash bowlers without a helmet on?
Actually, he was so generous. You bring in his commentary, don't you?
Right.
So when he was in Australia and he was doing commentary, and my son was there doing his first stint.
Right.
And he was in the studio with Sunny Gavaskar. So you can imagine how nervous he was. But Sunil put him totally at his ease. And then he came on and he said, "Good morning, Sunny Bhai. We are here at the Adelaide Oval and this is what's happening." Later, his boss pulled him up. Roy said, "Gautam, you can't call him Sunny Boy."
Sunny Boy.
Wait, yeah. I did not say Sunny Boy. I called him Sunny Bhai. So, and he had some great times with Sunil. There was a place in Wellington where they actually had a street named after Gavaskar Street.
In Wellington?
Yes. And he took him there, and it was a surprise for Sunil just to see that.
So he wasn't aware of that? Was he aware of?
He was not aware. So these are fun things.
This is something really.
Yeah.
Really, very
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
I mean, Sunil Gavaskar has a street named after him in Wellington, New Zealand. Obviously, a cricketing nation, but in New Zealand, quite remote, quite far away. I'm sure from the humble beginnings of Mr. Gavaskar's house. Really not aware. I mean, that's the kind of in the modern Gen Z term swag you want to have. Like, I have a street named after me, and oh my god, I didn't even know about that. That is what you would want. Now, before actually wrapping the very interesting podcast, there are a few more things I would want to know from you, and I'm sure the audience as well. They are very intrigued to know that. Is that broadcasting? I'm sure a lot of people see the Harsha Bhogles, Jatin Sapros, the Gautam Vimanis. How difficult is it? Because it's a very glamorous job. It's something we are, I think, 1.5 billion cricket experts in this country. We suddenly become, when Sachin had his tennis elbow, we suddenly had a billion doctors. So everybody is, it's like an obsession. So how difficult is it, and how politically correct you have to be, and how neutral? Because I'm sure when you are facing the camera, when Gautam sir faces the camera, when Harsh Adogle is on the microphone, when he's commentating, he has to be the emotions have to be so neutral, because it's a worldwide broadcasting that's going on. It's on air. You might have a Mitchell from Australia watching, and he'll be like, "Hang on a second, why is the commentator so biased? Why is he so sad that India is losing?" So how difficult is that part? And did the two Bhimanis, senior and junior, come up to you, or did they have this conversation? Right, this is something that you have to work upon, to really be as neutral as possible in front of camera.
I've been watching people like Harsha Bhogle,
Right.
and I find he's absolutely on point.
On point.
He's never biased. He has a sense of humor. And that's what makes him, that's what singles out these
Right.
two or three people, say in Quick Buzz or various other things, that they have the courage of their conviction. And that's what people respect. As you say, maybe a nation of a billion people, and everyone has their opinions, and everyone thinks that they are commentators as well. But
Everyone thinks they're players.
and they think they are players. It's amazing what people seem to take on, the roles that they take on.
Right.
But ultimately, their role models are people who rise
Are in
above
that
the throne.
zone, right.
Yes, yeah.
But do you think any chance, because cricket also, and especially cricket journalism, when I'm sure sometimes, I'm sure even today after a game you tune into the post-match analysis, or the day after a game, India's loss or India's victory. You think somewhere constructive criticism in sport, I'm not talking about anything else, is diminishing, and you think there's a lot more PR, and there's a lot more what to say, glorifying of individual that goes on.
I am actually a print person,
Right.
and I love my print. I love to pick up the Times of India or the Telegraph or the Hindu, and I like to read the comments that some of these cricket writers are making, and I think that there's some superb journalism going on. And I've actually written, because they always have their little things at the end to
Right.
say where I can write into
Content,
them. It's and I have done that. I have actually appreciated some of these people. They're doing a very fine job of analysis.
So you think
and I
the
can-
art is still,
the art is still very much alive. Yeah.
and where do you see cricket going further? Because I would just want your personal opinion on this one. You see that there was a great test series that just got concluded a couple of months back. India and England is a hard-fought test series, and if you were not following, it was a revamped Indian team. The two of the stalwarts of the previous generation, Virat and Govind, hanging up their boots. God knows what happened, because they were actually gearing up for that tour. And sure, there must have been something that happened. You can't be getting fit for a tour and suddenly think, oh, it's time to retire. Within a week, both real pillars of Indian cricket over the last decade or so, retired from Test match cricket. Then the young, revamped, fresh-looking team goes to England, gets totally hammered in the first Test, and then to come back and to draw. It was a 2-all draw. Many people are saying that Test series, because how India fought against England in England, especially with baseball and everything that's going on, has actually saved Test cricket's future. But do you think T20 cricket, especially for someone like you who's seen the whole transition, not to make you feel old by any means, but the whole transition, as you said, ancient cricketers as well, you could literally name as well. Do you think, are you worried about Test cricket's future? The
No,
most
I'm
traditional.
not. I'm not. I think this particular series that you talked about, it really pepped up
Right.
Test cricket and the young blood that came in. It didn't matter that these guys had hung up their boots, so to
Right.
say, because the others came and they just were out to prove themselves. And the public took it very well. I want to see Test cricket still going places because one-day cricket actually is getting a lot more eyeballs. It is attracting a lot more people. Definitely, there's
Right.
no question of that, and that will carry on. Look at now the fact that people are gearing up to go to Dubai.
Right. For the Asia
yeah,
Cup.
Yeah, Asia Cup. So it's there, but I don't think five-day cricket will ever
Ever.
die.
The most
It-
traditional form of cricket. You would
it's
want that smell, that leather.
I would still like
Yeah.
like that to continue, and it will.
It will
continue.
continue.
Yes.
It will continue, that's for sure. As you said, people are gearing up. There's an India-Pakistan clash coming at the time of recording in 2 days' time, but apparently the tickets have not been sold out. That's quite a strange fact when two absolute cricketing giants go face to face, and of course the other things that also come with an India-Pakistan clash. There's a lot of other things that are attached to this very feisty encounter. But I somehow feel, ma'am, that nowadays India and Pakistan cricketers have just gone a bit too soft at each other. Everybody's a fan of the other. I mean, I'm sure at your time when Zahir Abbas and Imran Khan, they used to be very feisty on the field. But nowadays, does it? I mean, we are like, okay, politically and every other things that are attached are very feisty. But over here, cricketers are gifting bats to each other, and they're not sledging. None of the Pakistani cricketers actually sledged Virat Kohli because they are fans of him. So does it make you a bit, okay, hang on a minute, what's going on? Because I think
No, I
Wasim
don't
Akram,
like that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think when we were watching some of these matches, there was a lot of bias
right?
in the audience, and you can imagine the sledging that was going on from the audience. So,
From the
especially
audience?
From yeah,
Wow.
in the sense that say if we were in Bangladesh, then they were obviously supporting Pakistan.
Pakistan.
Yes. So,
Ironic. Why I say irony? Because our country and Lady Indira Gandhi had a huge role to play in laying the foundation of independent Bangladesh. But that's a topic for another day, I'm sure. Mrs. Bhimani, first of all, and before ending, a big thank you once again. Thank you for your patience, firstly, and thank you for giving us time in a very busy schedule that you have. As you said, you preoccupied. There's festive season coming up as well. Big thank you and happy Durga Pujas to you. Hope you have a wonderful puja with your family and loved ones, and may God bless us all. And ma'am, before going, a word or two for the audience, and what message you would like to give?
I'd like to give this kind of message that since there is so much warfare going on all around the world,
Right.
it's these are very tense times. Look at what has happened to our neighboring country like Nepal and so on. I think we have to stay fairly neutral. We have to start looking at various peace initiatives. And as you say, the festive season is coming on, Durga Puja is coming on. So we have to see how all of us can contribute to our own peacekeeping efforts. There's so much going on now with these pandals. There's one Durga Puja pandal when they're going against cyber crime, for instance. So these these themes,
Themes.
are extremely important. I think people are
And should be appreciated as well.
It should be appreciated, and we should go ahead and look at it. Of course, we have to look at the beauty of it all,
Right.
the beauty of the creation of Durga. But beyond that, we have to look at
A bigger picture, bigger message to
bigger message
convey.
that
Yeah.
how we can live with our neighbors, how we can
Come
see
together,
what is
right.
happening. Yes, we can't do what is, we can't get into world politics as such, but yes, we can in our own discussions. We are affected by it.
Right.
We are all affected by
Absolutely.
it. We are affected by, the industry is affected. We are affected by the whole tariff situation. So we have to be mature about it and hope that the world will become a better place.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Again, thank you for your precious time. And I hope that in the coming future, we do another podcast. And I'm sure by that time, the world is, and our neighboring countries and everywhere, and we actually speak at how things have improved. So that is all that we can hope for. Thank you so much, ma'am. And once again, and I'd
Thank
like to
you.
meet again.
Thank you, Neil, and congratulations
Thank you.
for this particular 2000.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
2000.
We are growing, and the YouTube fam. Big thank you to all my friends, family, and everyone that has always supported me. And thanks to you as well for always the guidance as well. We've known each other for quite some time now.
Yes, I've seen you grow.
Yes, ma'am. It was quite unfortunate that I
this-
didn't have the privilege to meet senior Mr. Rita Bhimani. But again, I always feel that I would have a lovely conversation with him. But I'm sure somewhere, somehow, he's looking down upon, and I'm sure he's also thinking that, yeah, I did miss out on a chance to meet this lovely
Yes,
young gentleman.
You definitely missed out. But I will get you that book.
Right. Thank you.